Hey guys, welcome to the channel. My name is Zach. Today I'm going to be going over a wedding highlight video that I'm getting outsourced and edited through Uncut Gems. And I'm going to be going over if it's actually worth it for me to outsource to this place or not. Just giving my initial thoughts, reaction to the video. And I'm going to be going through play by play kind of what I would change about it, what I would have done throughout the situation. And after this video, I'm going to actually go in and re-edit it and show you step by step why I did the things I did and kind of compare and contrast about the video that they gave me straight up and the video that I'm going to be actually editing. So without further ado, let's get right into it and watch this thing. Right off the bat, I'm going to say this. Color grading, kind of dog water, I'm not going to lie.
Kyle Patrick. Many people don't know how far back our story goes. I don't remember how far back it goes because we were too little to remember those times. Who knew our family friends?
Yeah, I mean, it's okay. I'm not a fan of this shot right here. It's kind of just like a whatever shot. This one right here. It looks too corny in a way. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of it.
And years of vacation
That's
brought
all right.
us to where we are today and where we are right now.
I don't know. Just all the colors in this video don't look great. And I know white balance is a big thing, and I try to nail white balance for the day. So I don't know. I got one other video edited from them before this that I haven't really gone into, and the colors were just all over. And I got multiple revisions from them, and I asked them to change the color, and they didn't really fix it. They didn't convert the S-Log 3 to Rec 709, so they just kind of raw dogged it and made an S-curve in the curves panel, and it didn't turn out great. So I don't know what their deal is with the color grading, so don't expect anything great, honestly. But and again, right there, I'm not a big fan of the fast motion to slow motion slowdown. Like, I can tell that this was shot. I mean, I shot this in 60 frames per second, but I can tell through this, it's in a 60 FPS timeline, and this is playing at 30. So it's you guys won't be able to tell, but it to me visually, I can see it. I can see it slowing down from 60 to 30. You guys won't be able to tell because I'm recording in 30 frames per second, but it just seems choppy. And I think that's the most like amateur editing mistake / filming. Like, if you're recording in 30 frames per second and you put it into a 60 FPS timeline, or you slow down 30 FPS to 15 in 30 FPS timeline, it just looks so choppy and not professional at all. And that's the vibes it's giving me. I don't know if I'm a fan of that either, honestly. It was like, I like this shot because it has life to it. And then it goes to a dead face. Yeah, if anything, I'd put him in the reverse sequence because it's almost underwhelming to see this after versus like there's a lot of movement, there's a lot of going on. You're like, okay, that's cool. And then it's like, boom. It's like not as visually interesting to look at. So I'd maybe flip those two around or just get rid of the second one completely.
My beautiful girl, as I look back on our journey together, I'm in awe of how far we have come. From the innocent days of our childhood friendship to the profound love we share today.
Again, the
every
white balance.
We've been.
It's not even the white balance. I think it's just the color grading. I don't know what they do, but
together has shaped who I've become.
Not bad. Again, I'm not a big crossfade type of guy. I don't mind crossfades, but like, if you're gonna do it, I mean, this doesn't even really match. If anything, should have zoomed in on this clip to almost match cut almost, you know? Like, her face is right here, hand up there, you can see. and then her face is actually right there. So if you would just zoom in the second clip and make it match, so her face was actually there, zoom in about, I don't know, 75 to 50%, and make it match a little bit more, just because it's almost jarring to see it go from, I can't even click in the right spot, right there. From that, it's almost like you're focused either on his face, the hands, or her face, and then you either have to go from here to here, or here to here to here to here, or there to there, you know. Either way, you're not looking where, I mean, the closest thing is her face to the hands, but I'm not a fan of the off-beat cut. Like, I don't know if you noticed that. Boom. It's a little off.
It all started with a crush that I didn't expect to go anywhere.
This part is way too long.
Relationship a shot, even though we didn't have high expectations.
That's one thing. It's like, it's almost, how long is this? Let's see here. 110. Okay, so it's like 20. No. I mean, this goes to 25. Let's say 23. So, I mean, it's like almost 15 seconds of just the reaction, and the reaction isn't that great, honestly. Like, that's the best part right there. And then you don't need to show it like 3 different times. That's the same shot multiple times. So I don't think you need it necessarily. I would cut some of those. Like this one's way better than like them just like sitting there. You only need one reaction shot, to me personally, to move on the story. And that's one thing that some people have to take into consideration, is not every shot needs to necessarily make the video, even if it's a good shot. If it, you know, you don't want to drag the story on. You know, you're not going to see in a movie like them picking up an object multiple times just to show that this object is important. Like, sure, you'll focus on it, but I don't know if you get what I'm saying. Like, sometimes it's just not necessary.
We decided to give our relationship a shot, even though we didn't have high expectations for a long-distance relationship.
Again, I'm not a fan of the
Little did I know that I'd be falling for you over a FaceTime
slow down.
Even overseas, you've tried your hardest to make our relationship work, even in the toughest
I think
of times.
the vowels are pretty good, but then again, it's almost hard to mess up the vowels, because I mean, you're chopping out some parts, but you know, if they're decent, it's hard to mess up. So I do like the vowels.
I'll never know how, but for some reason, I knew it was you, and it will forever be you.
That was just kind of a weird transition almost. I don't know. I'm not like this. It almost looks like the same shot. It's so close to the same shot, just different angle. Like, there's nothing happening visually that's really interesting. So I might personally cut out one of those shots, or I'm not a fan of that. And then like here, it's like such a fast, offbeat, weird cuts that I don't know. It's just, I don't know. It just doesn't feel right to me for some reason. And this is very like energetic, and I don't mind it that much, but it's almost like the vibe is a little off for some reason.
I will always
especially
cherish the moments we've created, the late night conversations where you always.
The music goes pretty quiet here.
First adventures we've had together, and even the quiet moments of understanding. Each day with you is a gift, and I am so grateful beyond words for the love we've built.
You make me laugh like no other. You make me feel loved and appreciated more than anyone ever has. And I know each and every day you'll continue to do so. I can't imagine my life without you in it, and I never want to.
I do like the music during this part. It's just like the vibe before. It's almost, I don't know. I don't even know how to explain it. I really don't like that right there. It's like, okay, this is moving from left to right, and then that's moving from right to left, and then this is moving from left to right. And it's so fast. You either have to slow down these clips, and I don't think I took these ones, but it's just so fast in different directions that it makes it jarring to look at. Like, very jarring. So this is just too much of the same thing. I want to see, like, this is getting boring to me to watch. I almost want a different shot cut in somewhere in here. So I don't know. I would maybe, I'd say 3 tops of this, but at the same time, you want different. You want it to look different enough, because that's almost the same shot, same focal length, and then boom, somebody new's in it. It's either you have to, I'd say zoom into this one, crop it in like, you know, there, just so it looks visually different from the next one or the last one. So like maybe here put in a couple clips of the bride and groom or something else, just to mix it in. I don't think you need everybody walking down the aisle necessarily. Like, it's just getting long, and like, you get the point. Everybody's walking down the aisle. So storyline wise, I don't think you necessarily need to always show everybody coming down the aisle. It just gets a little much to look at over and over again, because it's the same exact shots, and it's like boom, 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 boom. Unless you're zooming in and out, cropping in to make it look a little bit different, so it's not like a hard cut. Because when you have the same exact shot basically, and you just cut to another part, it's almost like a jump cut, and it's like really jarring, because it's the same focal length, it's the same shot, just different people. So
I promise to honor our past, embrace all that lies ahead with you by my side. I promise to always support you in your dreams and aspirations. We laughed together, we've cried together, and we've grown together in ways I never imagined possible.
So yeah, I don't mind this because it's like
harbor,
different enough
partner,
shots.
You're my greatest supporter and my person. Today, tomorrow, and always, I choose you with all the love I can give. Kyle.
Okay. Almost the same shot as before, but and I don't mind this part. I actually don't mind it. Usually I put the peak moment is when they kiss, but I don't hate it. I don't hate that it was her walking in. Jeez. The only thing I'd say, God, dying. The only thing I would say is maybe for this, just crop in a little bit just to get this exit sign out of there. It's kind of ugly. You know, I think I was zoomed all the way in on this shot, but you know, it's tough because they kind of move all over the stage. So the day of, it's tough to position it in a place where you know exactly where they're going to be and just get it good and focused. So you almost have to shoot wider for the day to capture it and make sure you capture it. But I'm not a fan of the exit sign, so maybe I'd crop in just a little bit, because you want to focus on his reaction. That's what's going on here. Like, I like this part actually. That was just a bit much for me personally. It went through so many different angles so fast. Like, I'm fine with this, but like, boom, boom, boom. It's like, we don't need the same thing happening at 2 different angles within 0.5 seconds of each other. Like, this is the same shot. So I'd cut one of these out and make it double the length. That's what I would do personally. But
well, it is my privilege for the
because that was a lot. That was very fast. That was very jarring.
very first time to introduce.
And again, The framing isn't great on this. You know, there's a lot of headroom. That's not anything to do with the editing, but I think my second shooter, you know, that's yeah.
Time to introduce you to Mr. and Mrs. Kyle Cerrone. Congratulations.
Like, again,
God's blessings on your...
Why are we going through so many different angles so fast of the same exact thing? It's just so... It's jarring.
Mr. and Mrs. Kyle Cerrone, congratulations and God's blessings.
Why are we doing that? You know? Why are we doing that? Pick at most 2. Like, you don't need... This isn't TikTok. I'm not watching... I'm not... Whatever. It's so fast.
On your life together.
And then this one is weirdly long. I think we don't need all that. I think we go like that, either slow it down, and then like we don't need the second bop. We don't need, and then again, you know, we just need one. We need one good kiss. We don't want to see them awkwardly staring at them for you know, a while. We don't need all that. I feel like a creep watching it, you know? We just need one. And again, there, I'm a big fan of just like, you have to end it before it looks like they're coming out of it. So like dipping down, and then like before they start pulling back up, you need to end it, because then it looks like you're waiting for the movement, the next movement to end. Like, see, look, it's like, boom, end. You don't need them to come back up. Then it feels like when the cut happens, it's almost like, whoa, like, okay, I want to see them come back up, but they're not going to. Like, you're going to cut them short. You're edging the viewer. I don't know if I should say that. I don't like that shot at all either. It's too close. It's too fast. And I don't think I took the shot. This doesn't look like a me shot. Again, like here, I don't know. And it's kind of like, I like them coming in. Boom. I like that. Then it's just kind of like, it's very high energy to low energy. It's like, you know, they're like, yeah. Like, there's no sound design in here either. That's a big one. That's one thing. They don't really do sound design that well. And I asked this time for them to actually link the audio together to allow me to sound design easier with the natural sound of the actual clips. Because last time I got a video edited from them, they didn't, it was all separate. Everything was separate. It was like, okay, like now it makes it even harder because I'm going to have to go through the clips, refine the audio, re-put it in, try to sync it, try to make it look decent. Or I just have to just completely go through it and sound design myself with sound effects, not the natural audio of the clip. So that's one thing that would level this up, you know, quite a bit. There's not a ton of sound design throughout. Yeah, and I would prefer like an audience shot here or something of them like walking in, you know, boom. They're running through the crowd or something. I don't know. I don't remember exactly how this went. If they ran through the crowd or, you know, if there's even a shot like that. But, or something high energy. It's just kind of like, you know. It just doesn't scratch the itch for me, you know. Something needs to happen that's interesting after that. It can't just go like completely there. And like, I don't like that mirror shot again. I don't mind all this dancing. I feel like it's a little bit off, like beat or something. Like a couple frames, and like that's huge. It almost takes you out of the actual video when you're going through and it's off. Something's off, and then you're like, it takes you out of the moment in the video. So I like that shot. Again, I'm not a fan of the fast to slow motion. I don't think we need 2 shots of the dad there, honestly. That's good when he's smiling. I like the reaction. And then they're just talking here. I don't know. I think you only need 1. Maybe you could keep 2 shots of the mom because it's like different and like she's giving him a kiss, whatever. Flashbang. So I don't know. I would cut this one out. It's just not visually interesting enough to have 2 clips. Like I like the first one. It gets the job done.
With you,
and again, I don't know. I feel weird looking at this. I just feel weird. It's like it was such a long shot and we were just watching them just like, you know? Boom. Could have ended it there or something. I don't know. It's like
my greatest adventure.
He's just going to town and we're just like, you know, it's like you're standing. This is what I imagine it to look like. Oh God, yeah. It's like somebody's just sitting in the corner, just like watching them do this. Like, I don't know. That was a little too long for my liking. Overall, I don't know. There's things here and there. I mean, it's got a decent foundation. Just the color grading, the sound design, it's just not there. You know, that would take it up a lot for me personally. I think it's better coloring than the first video they did for me. Like the first one was pretty dang bad. I specifically requested this one to be converted to Rec 709. Like I don't have the project file yet, but I'll go through the project file and I'll actually see if they did that and if they link the audio together. I requested that too. And you know, if they didn't, yeah, I don't know. Like I got this for a pretty big discount, so like kind of as expected, like you get what you pay for, and I think this is the value of the discounted price. Would it be the value of the full price? I don't know. I don't think so. Like yes, it's got a decent foundation, but like I'm gonna have to go in like I did last time. I'm gonna have to go in, recolor every single one, adjust it, go in, do sound design for it, go in, take different clips, because some of these clips I don't think fit very well for the storyline.
Shaped who I've become.
And again, this, I think I'm very strong feeling that this is in a 60 FPS timeline with 30 FPS slowed down clips. So just make the whole thing 30 FPS and then you're chilling, you know? And now it's going to be off. Like when I switch it to 30 FPS from 60, everything's going to be a little bit off. So that's great. I'm going to have to do that too. That shot again, there's just a lot of, it looks amateurly edited, and you know, obviously you get what you pay for. I might do this with another editing service. Again, this is way too long. I'd give this, you know, overall, it's not a terrible video by any means. I'd give it a 6 out of 10 as it lies here. You know, I think if I go in, do some sound design, a little bit of tweaking, like it could get there. It could get there, and it could be better, and change out some clips, rearrange some stuff. I think the foundation's decent, and again, the endings is very anticlimactic. So I might take parts of like when she comes down the aisle, like right here, right there, like that. This is a banger ending spot right here. You know, now that'd get me going. I'm like, yeah. Like, I want the viewer to specifically feel something right at the very end. I want it to induce, I don't know if induce is the right word, impregnate the viewer with a strong emotion. That's probably not okay to say either. Yeah, again, I don't like that. That I feel weird just watching that. I can't. Yeah, so I mean, if you guys are interested to see what I do with these clips, and maybe I'll make a whole separate video side by side, going over, you know, what I'm going to change, how it's changed, and compare side by side the video that they created versus me going through and actually redoing it. I did give them a couple of pointers to change here, and I guess comments to make changes on, but you know, sometimes it's tough. I guess right now, me personally, I'm looking for an editor that can do everything, and obviously it takes time. It takes you know, repetitiveness to go through and do it the way that you like. I'm very picky, I'd say. I'm very, very picky about my editing. So I think it's going to be tough for me to find an editor like that. So, you know, if you're an editor, man, hit me up if you can do better than this. If you can beat a 6 out of 10 off the rip. You know, I guess they did one for me before, and so they kind of tweaked the style to my liking a little bit more, but it's still, you know, I wouldn't say it's fully there yet. But yeah, if you guys got any value out of this video, or, you know, can take anything out of this video, then I'm glad. No, then, you know, consider subscribing, like it, and stay tuned for the next episode where I go in and actually go through and edit so you can see what changes I actually do make and why. So this was just kind of the reaction to it. So stay tuned for part 2. See you guys.